up, turds, nerds, freaks, and geeks, and all that's in between? It's me, your girl, Daisy Dame. Welcome to, or welcome back to, my channel. I'm ever so blessed to have you here today, and today we are going to talk about leaving the world behind, or at least the world as we know it. Because Netflix presents another movie to program the masses for what's to come, and there's absolutely no other way to put that. Netflix has done it again. The thing that they're known for doing, the thing that they're so good at doing, and it's seeding the mind. And that is indeed the truth. In fact, that is facts, okay? So what Netflix has done is they've come out with another banger movie, right? It is meant to be after this book, and everybody was so excited. And there is a special guest in this whole ordeal, so stay tuned because you don't want to miss who else is involved in this. And I already gave you a clue. So let's talk about this. Leave the World Behind. It was a book, it was beloved, and they decided to make it into this post-apocalyptic film, right? This apocalyptic film, essentially not even post-apocalyptic because it's apocalyptic. So shocker to none, they used some big names for this film, names that people would recognize, and even up-and-coming names with the likes of Julia Roberts and more. There were some really heavy hitters in this film, and they made sure that people would see it because after all, of course, that's what they want. They want people to see it, and if you have seen it, please, before you continue, just pause and leave your thoughts down below and let the others know. What did you think about this? Did you also recognize something strange and unusual in this? Did it seem a bit too close for comfort? A bit of foreshadowing? Notice how it says White Lion on that big oil tanker. And let me tell you, that is one of the most telling parts, and it's important that it's an oil tanker because it was specified. Now, Julia Roberts reminds me a lot of Sandra Bullock. I get them confused, and then Sandra Bullock reminds me of Bird Box, and honestly, maybe they're the same person, who knows. But I was thinking about this, right, and I thought about, where did Julia Roberts really get their start? Oh, it was that one film where they played that one role, and everyone literally remembers that movie. And I don't even have to say it. You already know. We know her as somehow this lovable lady of the night who redeems herself in such a way that she just wins over the public masses over one movie. Well, that inherent love for this actress and the others in this film just made it that more desirable to watch and to see what it was about. And I just happened to stumble upon it, and you guys know I really do see a lot in these, and it's amazing all the time how truly deep the rabbit hole goes. So it's not just Julia Roberts. There's obviously other very big names in this. This is a film that's 2 hours long. It's a movie, and it's very dystopian, and it's really good at times at making you feel uncomfortable or confused. And that's another thing that I'm realizing is a lot more often now, is we're seeing this dis-ease, not just in life, but in these films, which then causes more dis-ease. And I just find that very curious, you know? Anyways, let's get back to that big oiler that comes in. That's the first item that we see crash, right? It's a big oiler. And they say it themselves. It's coming right for us, right? Okay. And then they see these planes go down. And the city is the first to endure a blackout. You see these people, they're staying in a home, not to, spoil it all for you guys, but spoilers, here they come. They're staying in this home, and then the family who owns the home comes back due to the blackout. And at first we can see that Julia is a bit judgmental, and she plays that role really well to the point where you find yourself getting upset with her as to how she's treating the owners of their very own home. that they're so graciously allowing them to stay in. I don't have to spell it out for you. This part alone is to show that there's this discomfort between one another, and I just don't believe that is so. I don't believe at the heart of it that we are divided. I don't believe that. I believe it's the news and the media that pushes this false divide. I don't think the people are actually divided, but Julia Roberts, they just play into this this thing, about people's eye colors, I guess it is, But let me go on. We know they have things like the LRAD system and everything, okay? And the father and the daughter that come back to their very own home, they're coming back from a nice event. It shows that they're, wealthy-to-do people. They're well off. They have a nice car. And still, Julia Roberts and her husband are hesitant, which, of course, you have kids, you should be concerned, but it's obviously over-concern. In the very start of the movie, they bring up the idea of 3 Mile Aisle. I mean, the daughter says it right away, and anyone who knows anything about that, you know exactly what that is. It's power plants, and they bring this up continuously again and again. Our dependency on electricity, our dependency on the very things that run our system, the very things that run our system are so feeble and weak. It's a fact. There's so many weaknesses that, whether it be a solar flare or whatever, it could go out. And they're already seeding our minds with this. Let me tell you how I know that. I know they're already seeding our minds with this because there was an article saying that in a small town, a solar flare had knocked out their media and their electricity and the radios and everything. So they're already putting it out there on the news, okay, that these blackouts are happening. We know our system is faulty and weak. We know it takes very little to affect our system. It's feeble, it's fickle, it's hanging on by a wire. We know about the LRAD system. We know about the voice of God. Keep that in mind. So they also speak of this I love you virus bug, which was this email back in the 2000s, right? It was a simple explanation of a virus. It's just, the connections are really curious. But don't take my word for it. Let's see what the article has to say about it. It says that Director Sam Esmail clarifies President Barack Obama's involvement in his recently released apocalyptic psychothriller, Leave the World Behind. He's commenting on the whole circumstance and whether Obama was involved or not. In recent interview with Collider, the creator clarified that President Obama's involvement in his recent released thriller. He wanted to comment on it. He says there's lots of conspiracy theories out there, and they've been circulating since the release of this, Leave the World Behind. They stated that the former president's input came after the script was majorly formed. So all of these theories are just that. They're just theories. It states, I think the silly thing about the whole thing is Obama really had come on a couple months before they started shooting. And so the script and everything was already set in stone, essentially. Listen to this. Because Obama is such a movie lover, he really focused his notes on trying to cinematically portray what was in the book and in a really interesting way. The book was on his reading list. It was one of his favorites. So he really just wanted to have his input. It went on to say that he really gave notes in regards to character, empathy, and also disaster elements. It really came across the board. And again, it was in pursuit of making it into a good movie. That was his main focus overall, which I just find that really curious. Months after leaving the White House, President Obama and his wife Michelle started a production company called Higher Grounds Productions. In the year it was founded, the production company signed a deal with Netflix to produce docuseries and movies and so on, and basically features for the service. And Ismail's thriller, Leave the World Behind, is the latest production to emerge from the multi-year collaboration. Leave the World Behind begins with a family of 4 traveling to a vacation rental on Long Island. On their way there, things suddenly begin to go south when they experience a blackout, and they run into a suspicious family who needs to stay in order to survive. The movie specifically focuses on the world's heavy reliance on technology and the possibility of what could happen if hackers were to get control of these modern technologies. And doesn't that sound about familiar? Following the release of Leave the World Behind, some viewers began to speculate about the true message, especially because Obama's involvement. A portion were under the opinion that the movie is a precursor of what's to come. They believe that Obama might be sending out a warning about the dependence on technology and how much we do indeed rely on it. They say with technology, civilization wouldn't last, but it did. It did last for so long before it. What do you guys think about this? Is this Obama trying to tell us something? Or is this just them seeding our minds with more of the same? Honestly, they've been making movies like this for a good while now, since like 2012, I think. They really started popping off. They really started getting more frequent. And obviously there must be a reason for this. Netflix is one of the biggest streaming platforms, and they want to seed the public's mind with these things for a reason. Another spoiler, real quick, there's this part where the Teslas start going off the road because they're self-driving vehicles. They all start slamming into each other. It's a really curious and interesting and symbolic moment, if I could call it that. What I do know is that no one is coming to save us. No one's going to make this better. We have to take it into our own hands to better ourselves and our lives daily. Until then, stay awake, stay aware, stay well, and I hope you have a very holly jolly, very happy holidaysy. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Bye, bye. And don't forget, check out my socials. Check out my whatnot, DameVonBonDaisy. It's where I have my merch. You can also donate via PayPal. All those links and more are always down below. So don't forget to check it out, because there's also lots of sweet enough things down there for you guys. Until next time, stay awake, stay aware, stay well, and tell your loved ones you love them. You don't need an excuse, especially now. Happy holidays. Bye, guys.